who had the Tribune in this great city that we're in now. The Russians had moved into West Germany, beyond Berlin. Berlin was behind the Iron Curtain after he'd been down in Australia, and the Japs were pushed back so he could occupy the Philippines again, which I had in the back of my mind, tie up our preparations. At any rate, when Lincoln had tried out a whole string of generals, they were as interesting as they could be, and some of the stories they tell about them are very interesting now. And then the next great time that came along was the war between the states, who was the commanding general in the colonial wars when we got our freedom from Great Britain. But I called the people together who were my chief advisors at the time on military affairs. Well, I didn't tell him what I was going to do until I talked to General Marshall the next day after he looked up the record. They'll always do that for any general. He was a good leader. He was a good leader. You know, when the commander-in-chief has the confidence of the people who are under him, he can accomplish the purpose for which he is appointed. Yes, he was.
Could you tell me a bit about it?
He was
Kind of.
every general of that sort has to have the ability to ingratiate himself with the troops which he's commanding, because unless they have confidence in him, there's no way for him to carry out the command.
The action.
Oh, yes, I did regret it. This argument with Chang and him, he said that 200,000 men was all he needed in Japan. Averill went and explained it to him, but he still stayed the same old MacArthur, and when he had a chance, he did it over again. The treaty had been signed. I asked him to act as the commanding general in charge of the pacification of Japan. There was no force about it. All the members of the chief of staff were in favor of it, and so was I, and it was done. And I also want to be sure to keep Chiang Kai-Shek, who had some notion of starting a World War #3 from going into China and doing just that.